Hi everybody. I decided to take the morning off from packing and take the dog for a walk at Manchester State Park. Today is Memorial Day, May 28th, I think. It's pretty early in the morning. I think it's like 8:30 or 9. So it's kind of misty still and a little, not really foggy, but more kind of misty. It smells really, really good. Anyway, I'm going to show you around, and this is Manchester State Park. This is one of the trails that I'm on right now. Sorry, I've got the dog on my arm, so he's pulling a little bit. This is one of the trails that, there's many little trails that kind of intertwine through here. Manchester State Park was established, I believe, in the early 1900s as a torpedo warehouse. And it also was part of the fuel depot, the Manchester Fuel Depot, which is here in Manchester, Washington. And they also, the fuel depot would supply fuel to the Navy ships. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. All the moss in the trees. My mind makes pictures with the heavy moss on the trees. Sometimes they look like little people, gnomes, leprechauns, and elves. Over here, they were doing a lot of work a few years ago to increase the salmon habitat. There's no water in it right now. It looks like it's pretty much dried as a dried creek, but there's water that runs in it quite a bit in the winter, and the salmon come up the streams in the wintertime to spawn and lay their eggs. This is one of the hardest things about leaving this area to me. I love it so much. I love this kind of flora and fauna. I love that there's no poisonous spiders here or poisonous snakes, except in eastern Washington. They have the poisonous spiders and snakes there too, but I don't go over there too often. But it's just this heavy canopy of evergreen and deciduous type trees. That over there. This is one of the main parks that I go to walk the dog on a regular basis. This one and one called Bandix Dog Park. One of the things that I love about Bandix Dog Park is that the dog rigs can run free without being leashed. It's completely fenced. And so he's safe. Not to say that he's 100% safe. If he took off after something, he could get through the fence, I would imagine. But for the most part, he's just happy to run at his own speed. Boy, he likes to come here to sniff. I call this a sniff and walk whenever he's on a leash, because that's all we're doing is sniff, 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 stop, 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 pee, pee, pee. Up here is, I didn't say, Manchester State Park is now a state park, of course. It has camping. And what you see up there is actually a group camp. Nobody's there now. Weird, for it being Memorial Day. He's twisting me with the leash. He thinks he's going to get my life insurance policy. I hope this is coming out okay because I really can't see without my glasses. I need to get some prescription sunglasses, I think, if I'm going to film with sunglasses on. This time of year, my allergies are horrific. So I like to keep glasses on, sunglasses, even if there's no sun, because it keeps the debris out of my eyes. And one of the worst culprits here is something called Scotch broom. It's in the broom family. It is not native to the United States. And in Washington State, where I'm at, it's considered a noxious weed. And but I think it's gorgeous. And apparently, the story goes, Eleanor Roosevelt thought it was gorgeous on one of her trips to Europe. It's native to like the UK, Ireland, Scotland area. She thought it was so beautiful that she brought it back. Well, and it took hold in this country. And of course, Washington State, the Pacific Northwest, west of the Cascade Mountains, you get a lot of the same kind of weather. You know, our weather is basically dictated from the ocean, what the Pacific is doing. Maybe we'll get lucky and see a bear or a deer this morning. I hope not a bear, and for my arm's sake, actually, I'm hoping not even a deer, because man, he can sure pull if he wants to go somewhere in a hurry. Riggs is a border collie. When I got him, he was 6 years old. He now just turned 8. I think it was the 5th. No, he will be 8 on the 5th of June. Or it might have been the 5th of May. Anyway, I can't remember. But he's my second rescue of a border collie. I really, really like this breed. One of the things I like about this breed is that he makes me get off my butt and do things and go places. I'm going to stop for a second. Anyway, I had one prior to having Riggs. His name was Griffin. And I was Griffin's 5th home. He was also a border collie. He was a little different than this one, though. He had a smooth coat. They called it a smooth coat. Kind of short hair and very, very shiny. And his original owner must have had him trained as a work dog, like for sheep, maybe. Maybe even for competition, I don't know. But this dog, Griffin, would stop on a dime. If a deer jumped out in front of us on I could always let him off leash. If a deer dropped off on a trail in front of us, he would run after it, but all I had to do was say stop, and he'd drop, and he'd be totally still. Now, he lived to be, I got him when he was about 9 or 10, and he lived to about 15 or 16. He had a heart attack. It was pretty sad, pretty devastating. I went without a dog for a week, and with the help of a friend of mine who used to rescue border collies, helped me find Riggs. Now, Riggs, look at me, Riggs. He's gotten a haircut. Usually I leave him fluffy in the winter, and I give him a summer cut in the summer. It's not 100% off, but it's like about an inch in length. And I know some of you probably have seen some of his pictures where he's all full of hair. That's how beautiful that is. And he can't even get his regular collar on sometimes. His hair is so heavy. Come April when I go, oh, water. See a little bit of creek right there. That's where the salmon would run. Anyway, I cut him for the summer so he's cooler. This dog runs at a natural temperature of, excuse me a moment, allergies. This is something called Buttercup right there, that yellow thing. Anyway, he runs a normal resting temperature of 101. So, you know, it could be 72 in my house, and he's running at 101. If I'm cold at night, if I can get him on the bed, sometimes I can't, but if I can, he's great. He's a great heater. I won't freeze for sure. Anyway, back to Riggs and Griffin. And Griffin died in 2016. And I got Riggs about a week later. I just couldn't bear going home without having a dog there to greet me. So, anyway, here we are. And he's not that well trained. Come here. Or maybe you can see, maybe you can't. But you must notice me jerking as I walk. He's not that well trained. He's great at the dog park. I call him, he comes, he checks in, I say good boy, and he runs back off. He's not so great if he's distracted by a squirrel, basically, or anything else. So I try, the best thing I've found for him was the word no. So if he's doing a behavior I don't want him to do, I say no, and usually he'll stop, which is amazing. But again, if he's distracted, it's anybody's guess, out the window kind of thing. We have no idea what he'll do next. Anyway, so my plans for the rest of Memorial Day is to go home, continue to pack a little bit. Rig, stop. Rig, stop. I have the office cleaned out, the guest rooms cleaned out with the exception of the futon bed that was in there, and then I have some books in the hallway, and then everything upstairs will be done with the exception of my bedroom. Be packed, I mean, not done, but packed. Yesterday I met and hired a house cleaner that's going to do the backup or the move-in ready cleaning for me, which I think would be great. He's charging $350, which is actually less than I expected, so I hope he does a good job. Oh, and I didn't say that I think I got a tenant. Did I say that in the other day's video, the last video? I think I got a tenant. They have, get this, 3 dogs. One's a boxer pit, one's a German Shepherd, and one's something else. Oh, a Corgi mix. So I had to call my insurance company to make sure that there was no restrictions on what type of dogs I could have at my house, you know, for liability reasons. I can't see if I'm filming or not. I'm using that GT. It's like a GoPro. It's a kind of a copycat GoPro. Anyway, so that's my story for today. And finish this walk and go home and get busy. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Comment if you got something to say. Thank you. Bye.